Good morning. It is a beautiful September morning. We had a little bit of rain last night, so we wake up this morning, we got this awesome fog and the sun coming up, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And if you notice here, we have 3 John Deere tractors in the shop, and our goal is by the end of the day to only have 1 John Deere tractor in the shop. And the only way that is feasible, yes, that is right, my friend Mechanic Larry's coming over, and we're gonna try and just bang these out. It's September, shop doors open, and me and you are working on John Deere tractors again. Kind of feels like fall, don't it?
It's getting closer. I remember back in July, you said, you remember that fall is only 8 to 10 weeks away. I said, I'll get there before then. Well, yeah, we're here.
We're here. This 2-wheel drive 4850 is not a big deal. This is an air conditioning pump.
Pump locks up.
I think our 15 to 20-year-old pump's kind of on the way out. I think the clutch engaged.
Locked up.
It did? It just locked up?
Yeah, it wasn't spinning anymore.
Me and Adam started on this, but I got a question for Larry. So this one's actually not going to take that long. This 4850 here, Super Chief, this one's been a little bit of a project, but it definitely hasn't been bad. This is the tractor that we actually were able to buy back earlier this year. We were out spreading with it this spring, and we found out that the MFD, the front wheel assist, these front wheels were actually locked in, which means that basically the tractor was in 4-wheel drive all the time, which isn't a big deal. We've had a number of them. Well, earlier this summer, a couple weeks ago, Adam actually pulled what they call the MFD clutch pack out of it, and we took it over to Mechanic Larry, and well, he found a few sealing rings that were leaking. This is my week right here. We're trying some new technology out to just make our jobs a little easier, and it's not working out bad, but it's not working out totally smoothly, and this is how I feel my week has gone.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel like my week has gone. It does make it feel like fall, doesn't it? Like,
I mean, you can't. It's in Minnesota. Yeah, it's in the air. So how are you feeling, stress level wise, being ready for fall?
My really good friend Mechanic Larry was here this week, and I think he coined it best, where we got done working a full day, and we were jamming the whole time, going back and forth on 3 different projects in the shop. And at the end of the day, I looked at him and I'm like, I think we just had that unglamorous day.
We got 3 of them in the shop here today.
I was joking that the goal was to drive 2 of them out. Well, that's not happening, is it?
Not today.
No.
Not today, but it'll happen, just not today.
And he just kind of looks at me and I'm like, today's the day that any normal person would walk in the shop. They would be like, what'd you do all day? All the tractors are in the same spot. They look the same. Yeah. But actually what we were doing was that scraping gaskets, and we had to build some tooling, and we just had this unglamorous day of just the grind. So is it safe to say just our game plan didn't go as planned? It didn't go bad though.
We ran into a couple other issues.
So our tractor number 3 in the shop, we originally brought in, it just needed an AC pump. The AC pump actually locked up on us earlier this summer. Okay. Kind of funny. Well, now, believe it or not, even though it technically cools off for us in fall, when you're running equipment, you have the diesel motor in front of you and it's generating so much heat. And then actually another thing with these cabs, if you notice that the glass is curved, it's concaved, and it basically, with the sun coming in, it becomes like a heater.
Like a greenhouse effect.
Pretty much. Okay. Yeah, yep. So you want air conditioning. Yeah, we ran into a couple issues, but some of them aren't bad. This 4850 behind us, this is the one me and Adam started last night putting the AC pump on. But then we also noticed the cab forward lines were junk, so we're like, okay, let's do that. And then we want to put a receiver dryer on it. But then I spent about an hour getting the bracket freed up that holds the AC pump. Some of that stuff, some people will be like, oh, you don't need to do that. But if you ever spent hours trying to break one loose, you understand, hey, that's not a bad thing to do.
It's easier here than out in the field.
Yep, and then earlier today, oh man, I'm working on it. I look over, here's a block heater that I'm kind of questioning myself if it worked or not, because a couple years ago, we kind of had a splitter box off a generator that was supposed to take 220, split it down to 110, but it did the opposite. It decided to put 220 to 3 different tractors and smoke 3 block heaters. Luckily though, that's as bad as it got, right? Yep. Just took out the block heater, no big deal. What the block heater is you plug it into a household extension cord, and then during cold weather, it's a heater and it heats the coolant. So instead of your block being 10 degrees and trying to start it in the middle of winter, it'll be 60 degrees. But a couple years ago, we have a joke that sometimes you got to pay for past sins later down the road. About 3 years ago, we had a generator running, going to a splitter box, and so the generator was producing 220 volts. The splitter box was breaking it down to 110, and we had 3 tractors plugged in.
Okay.
Well, over the course of the night, that malfunctioned and put 220 volts to each one of the tractors. Now, here's where this is a good thing. So this is actually really bad, but here's where it's the good thing.
Okay.
It just destroyed the block heater. It didn't like start a fire.
Oh, okay. So it could have been worse.
So I plugged that block heater in, find out, hey, it's not warming up. All right, let's put a block heater in because the AC lines kind of cover it. It's a nice day in the shop. It's way nicer doing it here than it is out in the field. But yeah, that's why that tractor's still in. Otherwise, like AC pumps on, we got it back down. Otherwise, that one would have been driven out.
Yeah, that one would have been done. This one, we got to put the SCV boxes back on yet, but other than that, and put oil back in.
Yeah, so we did have actually a major victory here. This is the tractor we pulled the, what we call the MFD clutch, the front wheel assist clutch housing out. So we had this tractor that we bought back earlier this spring. Earlier this spring, we got it in a spreader, so we just wanted to try it. And the one thing we knew right off the bat, and Larry nailed it over the phone, at the time I was just talking to him over the phone trying to diagnose why the front end wasn't clicking in and clicking out.
Okay.
And he figured there was a blown sealing ring in this MFD clutch. Now originally, so this MFD clutch is this, it's basically the clutch pack that drives your front wheel. So when you're driving down the road and you're in mud, you can click a switch and then the front end will engage. And then when you don't need it, you just turn it off. But what happens when they fail, sometimes they fail what they call locked up. So it's just turning all the time.
Okay.
Most of the time it's not a big deal until you're driving up and down the road a lot like what we were doing. So we knew we wanted to fix it. Our goal originally was to do this in-depth video on, hey, how do you repair your MFD clutch? Due to time restraints, we couldn't, but we did get it apart and back together. Actually, I got to give you credit because we bought this tractor last spring and I wanted to hook it into a spreader just so we could try and troubleshoot some stuff. And sure enough, I mean, just over the phone, you diagnosed it. You figured that it had a broken sealing ring in the clutch housing, which it did. Originally, our goal was to do like a step-by-step tutorial of going through that. We had to not do that just because we were out of time or just for time restraints. We decided, hey, let's just go. So you're gonna catch the highlights. Let me put it this way: it's big, it's heavy, and then luckily when it slipped on the press, it didn't hurt us.
Nothing flew and broke any bones or anything.
The shop's a giving tree. Sometimes it gives you headaches. Sometimes it gives you all the right junk to weld together to make a tool to press a clutch in.
Pressing that down, and Mark made a really nice tool for doing it.
Yep.
To get constant pressure on it, so it worked out well.
Nice.
In this case, I got a whole bunch of old bearing races. We stacked them up, Dad welded them together, which then allowed us to press it down and put a snap ring in.
That's awesome.
Well, and that's one of the things I was gonna say. Like we had a little bit of a slip, which then allowed us to, hey, maybe we should build something better. And then Mark was still here. My dad had to take off. He had a doctor's appointment this afternoon, but he actually started. We brought some old bearings in. Actually built a new tool for pressing that all down. I did have to laugh though when I was like, "Yeah, you scared?" Yup.
I wasn't just sure exactly what was going to happen.
Oh, Mark nailed it. We weren't as scared that time, were we?
It didn't have as much area to move that time.
Yeah. Real men admit when they're scared, don't they? Or guys that don't have anything to prove anymore. Oh, that's cool.
No, just so none of the linings move, because now we got to get that big drum to set all the way down into that.
Well, and do you find this, like we were just talking about, we do like a household planning meeting on Saturday mornings, and we were talking about how none of us are very good at predicting time. Like we think like, I'm gonna get 12 things done today, and it's like we get 2 done, like more often than not, right? Do you feel like sometimes it's just hard to predict how much you can actually get done in a day?
That, and then I think the hard part with all that, this is one of the things me and Larry talk about all the time, and then me and the guys in the shop, because all 3 of our projects that we have in the shop right now suffer from the same problem. We're working on tractors that are 40 and 50 years old.
Okay.
The amount of maintenance they took in the late 80s versus the late 90s fails in comparison to early 2000s and then let alone 2025.
Okay.
What happens is you start digging into these projects and then you start finding a little more wrong and a little more wrong and a little more wrong. What before, when you bring it in and only replace a part, let's say the tractor was 10, 15 years old, you'd bring it in and you'd only replace 1 part.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden you're replacing 10 parts or taking 10 parts off to replace 1 other one, and then there's just so much more going into them to keep them up and running. And so that's where I think sometimes, like, when I just know when my time frames go to crap, it's usually something like that all the time. And that's what originally broke, why we were losing oil pressure. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it all worked out.
It all worked out.
But and the linings were teeth were gone in some of the linings anyway, so it was time to rebuild it.
I'm just more amazed, even because I mean that last spring I was just reading pressures and talking to you on the phone, and it kind of diagnosed it perfectly right over the phone. Kind of amazing what 40 years experience teaches you.
Yeah, once or twice. Yeah. Yeah, that's some of the things you got to do. I left a hammer over there too, I just saw.
That's all right.
Other than that, I think that's about all we got done today.
Yeah, wasn't the record setter, but it wasn't bad either.
No, but all the valves I got, those are worked on the bench at home with one of those. So
Yep.
got those all done. The shift valve for the other tractor done.
I actually think this is the day me and you talked the least in between projects
Yeah,
too.
right.
Like all day it was just like, okay, yep, you're on this,
Keep moving,
yep.
keep moving, keep
Hey,
moving.
can I get a hand over here? Yep. Okay. Hey, do you got this wrench? Yep. Yeah. That was in a weird way. It was kind of like a slow, intense day all day. I was annoying Larry over the weekend. I was texting him just like, hey, we finally got the two halves of the intake apart. It only took a couple hours. And, hey, we got the engine in the stand. Only took a couple hours. Okay, so one thing that was funny. So Larry let me borrow his engine splitting stand, and so that motor's on that. So Sunday, me and Adam were trying to get it in there, and I'm like, what did it take? It took us like an hour. I couldn't figure it out. Well, then today Larry's like, you sure it doesn't have the big bolts? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's explaining that there's two different bolts for the frame size. And then that's why it took me so long. So I actually had to get in there with a die grinder and kind of clean it up. But I mean, it took me an hour to get the freaking engine in the stand. Like, Adam's just sitting there on the skid loader like, what's taking so long?
Shaking his head. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Larry would already have this in. Yeah, no crap, but it's Sunday.
But it both having it in that stand is
That's
nice
awesome.
compared to leaning on the bench trying to tip it over and.
Oh. The fact that you can just go 360 degrees completely, that is a very nice stand. Yeah. And I like how it's mid-size. It's not like automotive stuff's too small, but then you get into semi stuff, it gets like so big and bulky. I mean, that is just a really nice stand for this size motor. Cool, we'll end it that way. Next week will be more eventful.
Yeah,
Next week we'll feel like real
next
mechanics.
Week we'll have tractors moving.
It was that non-glamorous day though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Gaskets, seals, yep, build the tool. Used another tool that got built in previous years to get a hip block heater out.
Oh, yeah, that was a cool
That's
tool.
cool. Oh, like I said, some of the ideas my dad has is unbelievable. Yeah.
Good thing he knows how to fabricate. He can fabricate very well.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the tool he built for the mechanical front, that'll work. It doesn't look pretty, but it'll work.
It's like a lot of stuff around here.
It works.
That's how I feel some days.
She's like, I am just trying to love you.
I
I am
know.
just trying to. Our dog Kona just rolled in, and if you hear the moose footprints,
Yeah.
well, she's a big girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Trying to stay on time frames. It is so tough. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm so with you. Like, everything takes longer.
Yep.
When stuff takes longer for you, do you get frustrated, or how do you handle it?
Yeah, at times, because I'm just like, I had things all planned out how they were supposed to go. But, I mean, probably 50-50. A lot of the time I can be like, it's just how it goes, right? So, how about you?
I'm usually grateful, like because usually if you're behind schedule, it's because either more had to come apart or that like it's just taking more energy to get apart, maybe more where things are rusty. So as long as you get it apart and you get that feeling of release, like, hey, we got it. Yeah, we fought it, but hey, we got it.
But there's forward progress.
Forward progress
Yeah.
is a huge one. This last week, I think, is the tough thing because me and Larry even joked about it. I started the day off saying, yup, here's our goal. We got 3 tractors in the shop. The goal is to get 2 out. Larry's coming. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, me and Larry were sitting in the shop just like this, filming, and all 3 tractors are still in the shop. Now, to save a little bit of your self-esteem,
Yeah.
we did get the one out later that night. The second one, if our only goal was to get 2 out, we technically could have done it.
Okay.
But we just didn't get as far as we wanted. But yeah, that was kind of the morale, was like when you just don't have that big
Yeah,
victory.
totally.
But yeah,
Yep.
The other thing that happened, so the tractor we got out, I was trying to power wash it off just because it was filthy, and then we had the hood off to do the AC pump, all that stuff, and then I was like, hey, we got the hood off, let's power wash this. But then it was a hot night, we had the air conditioning running, we had the hot water heater running for the power washer, we had the power washer running. We actually blew the big shop breaker.
Oh, wow.
And that's when I'm like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yep.
Let's let everything cool
The
down.
universe is telling you, time
I
to take
think
a break.
so.
Yep.
Yeah. Does the universe ever give you signs?
Oh, yes, yes. I think the older we all get, the more you recognize that,
Yep.
right? Of like, nope. And when in my younger years, I would have tried to like push through, power through, and now I'm like, I know better now.
Oh, I'm so with you. I
Yep.
am so with you.